everybody. Welcome back to Coach Shane's Book Club. This is episode 2 for our third book, The Rosie Project. The Rosie Project is basically a romantic comedy written by Graham Simpson. It's a pretty interesting book. It's very popular. The majority of people enjoy the book, but there are a few people who do not like it. And I want to know why. So, this is the second part, which means basically the second 2 hours of the book. And I want to talk about 2 parts particularly. One was the bartending situation, which I thought was actually very interesting. And the second thing I want to really discuss is the idea of objectification. That's a big word. And I'll spell it and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first of all, I want to say thank you to 2 people. Number 1, Santa Raisin. Santa Raisin is really helping out, organizing this book club and trying to make it more active. On October 9th, is that right? Let me check Yes. On October 9th, they will have a book club meeting, and they're going to discuss this book. They have some questions prepared, and it's going to be live. It will be a Google Hangout, and it's free. Of course it's free. Anybody can join, and even I might join. I'm going to do my best to join, and it's going to be pretty fun. I know a couple people will be there, have promised to be there, and like I said, I'm going to do my best to be there too. As far as I know, in the book club, it's all women that are confirmed participants. And that will be interesting because I know for sure that 2 of the women are not very... They don't like the book that much. So this is going to be interesting. Maybe we can get some good discussion, maybe a little bit of argument. Maybe we can find out why they do not like the book. So it's going to be fun. Now, the other person I need to thank is Eva. And I'm going to try to pronounce her last name, Eva Bosakova, because Eva sent me an MP3 file. She answered a couple of questions, and she asked me a question too. Thank you so much, Eva. And I'm going to start with her. Now, one of the things I said in the last podcast is the Rosie Project. Is this a book for men or for women? Obviously, it's for men, but can women enjoy it? Eva?
Is this book better for men or for women? Yes and no. To oppose you, I think that it's also interesting for women because women like to know how men think. Yes, and most of books on relationships are written from the women's point of view.
Great points. Yes. Women can read this book and get a pretty good idea of what guys think when it comes to relationships. Oh boy. And basically in the book we have the 2 professors. The one professor, he seems okay. Of course, he probably has Asperger's, which means he's not very romantic, not very emotional, doesn't really have empathy. And then we have the other extreme, the pig, who only thinks of women as something below him. Yeah. So, I don't know if this book is the best book to learn about how men feel about relationships, but definitely it gives you an insight to at least fantasies that probably many men do have. Another question I asked was, this guy, he has Asperger's. It's a form of autism. And once again, he's very intelligent. His IQ is probably very, very high, but his social skills are not good. In fact, if the Asperger's is severe, he may not have any social skills. Well, obviously, this man is functioning. But because of his Asperger's, is his view of a relationship better than a normal guy's or a normal person's? Or is it an advantage or a disadvantage? And this is what Eva had to say.
What is normal for us is not normal for Asperger's. We say that love is blind, and sometimes when people are really in love, they can't see what's behind that. They don't see many practical things which may occur in the future. So from this point of view, I think it's not so bad.
I agree. It's not so bad. Like I always say, if you know the person, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, just a friend, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your boss, whatever, if you know the person, if you know if they're genuinely nice or really evil, if you know if they're greedy or if they're very generous, if you know they're the way they are, you can be friends. Even if they're evil, even if they're greedy, if you know the person is greedy, you can be friends because you don't have expectations. And personally, I think the best way to survive in this world is not to have expectations. That doesn't mean you do not respect, you do not love, you do not care for people. Of course you do. Of course, but it's you. It has nothing to do with them. Let the other person have their beliefs, have their character, have their personality, and you decide, are you going to accept it or not? And that's it. And Asperger's, who cares if he's not very romantic? He might be the perfect person in a relationship. Lord knows I am not. Thank you so much, Eva, for your opinions, and I really appreciate it. Please, anybody, send them in. Send me an email. My email address is dailydictationmembers@gmail.com. And don't send me old stuff. Send me new stuff. So I'm going to ask questions at the end of this podcast. Send me an MP3 answering those questions, giving me your opinion. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this entire scene about the Father Project. Do you remember the Father Project? So there's a couple of projects here. The Wife Project. Now, Don, he's the professor with Asperger's. He's created this questionnaire to vet, to find the perfect woman for him. Okay, so does she smoke? Yes, then she's out. Is she a vegetarian? Yes, she's out. If there's an appointment at 1 o'clock, should she arrive early? Yes, she's out. Should she arrive late? Yes, she's out. So he's very particular, and he's looking for the perfect woman for him to become his wife. Well, he meets Rosie, and Rosie is absolutely not the woman. But for some reason, he keeps talking to her, and he kind of has fun. He has a good time. And he justifies meeting Rosie because he's helping her. She is not a candidate to be his wife, so that's okay. He's not romantically interested in this woman. She does not qualify. He is only helping her because she's looking for her father. She does not know who her natural father is, her genetic father. Well, Don is a geneticist, and he can help Rosie find her father. So so they're together, and they're together in order to find Rosie's father. Of course, as they are together, they enjoy their time together. And anybody in a normal situation looking at the two of them, they would assume they were dating, definitely building a relationship. So anyway, the father project. Rosie's mother passed away. She died. But Rosie's mother evidently is not sure, or was not sure, exactly who her father was. And but she does know who it could be. One of her mother's classmates from college. Without a doubt, it was one of her classmates from college. That's like 25 years ago. So, they decide to have a class reunion. This is Don's idea, Don and Rosie. They decide to have a class reunion. All the guys will come together, and then Rosie and Don will get samples, genetic samples. They're going to give everybody a drink, and then they're going to take their glasses and test the side of the glasses for their spit. The spit. And then they're going to genetically test the spit to find out who Rosie's father is. It sounds complicated, I know. But it also sounds like it's possible. But the problem is, in order for this to happen, Don, who's a professor, must be at this party. And the only way he can be at the party is if he is an employee. And because he needs to test the glasses for spit, that means he needs to be a server or a bartender. Well, in order to do this project, Don essentially becomes a bartender. And he is a brilliant bartender. His IQ is very high. He memorizes every drink that there is possible to make. He memorizes every guest at the party, and he knows what guest drank which drink, and he's actually a genius. He was very intellectual in his approach, but everybody seemed to love him. In fact, even the owner of the catering service loved him because all night he was selling cocktails, not bottles of beer, but actual cocktails, which are expensive. So the owner of the catering company even offered Don a partnership in a business. I thought it was very funny. And of course, Don, he's very logical. And of course, he says, no, this is all in order to help Rosie. Now think about this. Anybody, Rosie, whether it's a man who learns to become a bartender to help his girlfriend, or a woman who learns to become a bartender to help her boyfriend, to help somebody, that's amazing. For the average person, that's amazing. Is it not a sign of love? Well, Don refuses to think of it as a sign of love. It is simply to help Rosie. He's just being a nice guy. That's what he says. And now that he has helped Rosie, he believes that he needs to tell Rosie that, by the way, I am not interested in you romantically. That would be a waste of time. You did not pass the wife project. I'm only here to help you find your father. And he tells her that. And Rosie is angry. Why? Is she angry because she's sad because she thought that maybe Don liked her? No. She's angry because she did not know about the wife project. She had no idea. She didn't know there was a test, a questionnaire. She didn't realize that Don was looking at women not as people, but as a piece of paper, as a project, as a questionnaire. The women were not three-dimensional. They're simply two-dimensional. Yes, they're living, breathing organisms, and they fit this criteria. She was really disgusted at this idea. Now, she, of course, knows many men, including Gene, the other professor, who's a dirty old man. And she understands that many men do not consider women equals. They see women as an object, not as a thinking person, somebody with intelligence, somebody with ideas, creativity, power. Many men don't see that. She's aware of that. But I think she did believe that Don was different. And she liked that. Don is a weird guy. He's got Asperger's probably. He's weird. But at least he didn't objectify women. He didn't make women an object. He didn't see women as an object. Well, she thought that until Don mentioned the wife project and the questionnaire. Then she realized, oh my God, this guy is a jerk just like all the other guys. Now, before I ask my question, let me give you a good definition of objectification. Objectify, O-B-J-E-C-T-I-F-Y. Objectify, that's the verb. The noun objectification, O-B-J-E-C-T-I-F-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. That's a long word. So simply, and I'm looking at Wikipedia. So if you want to go to Wikipedia, you can read along with me. Objectification. Objectification means treating a person as a thing without regard to their dignity. Looking at a person as an object, not seeing them as a thinking, creative individual. They give some examples when people are objectified, or why even. So people are objectified as a tool for another person's purpose. So for example, a typical guy who only wants to have sex, when he sees a woman, he will objectify them. This woman will be good for my sex. That is objectification of women. We also objectify people by judging them to have no self-determination. In other words, this is not a human. This is a doll. This is a dog. And I need to control every aspect. That is objectification. Another form of objectification is treating the person as something you own. So I go home to my house, to my car, and to my wife. Those are my three things. I paint my house, I wash my car, and I give my wife clothing and jewelry and whatever. That's objectification. To objectify something means to simply think of it as an object. So, for example, this woman, that woman, it doesn't matter. They're all women. They're just simply an object. Would you like a grape, an orange, or a pear? It doesn't matter. It's all fruit. This woman, that woman, that woman, it's all the same. Objectification. If you think it's okay to hit a woman, to damage, to destroy a woman, you're objectifying her. And everybody, it goes the other way. I mean, a woman to a man, same thing. Or a woman to another woman, same thing, okay? It's not just a man-woman relationship. Usually we think man-woman relationship. Usually we think men objectify women. But absolutely, it can go the other way. Absolutely. And my examples are all man to woman. And the other form of objectification is when you believe that there's no concern for the other person's feelings, or you don't need to understand anything about their experience. Whatever they're thinking doesn't matter. Whatever they're feeling doesn't matter. That's a form of objectification. Now, the truth is, most likely, all of us are guilty of objectification at some point. Maybe to your wife or to your husband. Maybe just one time. Maybe just once a week. Or maybe all the time. It's possible. I'm sure there are many wives out there who say, "Oh, I don't care what my husband thinks. It doesn't matter." And I'm sorry, ladies, that is a form of objectification. So if you're going to think that way, then maybe your husband will have another method of objectification for you. So is it possible to have a world, to have a relationship without objectification? I don't think so. Not 100%. Not 100%. But what about in your relationship? And what about in a good relationship, in a healthy relationship? Now, we have people from all different cultures, all different backgrounds, all different ages. And I'll tell you a secret. In my family, and I think in many families, not my generation so much, not really my mom and dad's generation, but my grandparents' generation, and especially the generation before that, there was a lot of objectification. You know? Everybody had a role, but there wasn't the type of equal relationship. Nowadays, especially as far as I know, the younger generation is very concerned with equality. And if a relationship truly is equal, then I think the level of objectification would be very low. But is that necessary? Is it okay to objectify someone sometimes? Or is it just bad? Is it white and black? Is it yes or no? This is my question. I want to know about your opinions on objectification. Now, I'm guessing women probably have more to say than men. So, women, let me hear it. I want to hear about maybe a case when you were objectified, or your opinion on how women are objectified, and if that is good or bad. I really am interested in your opinions. And guys, think about it. Have you ever been objectified? Has a woman ever looked at you as simply a toy? Did you like it? Or did you not like it? Did a woman ever look at you simply as a bank account? Did a woman ever completely ignore your opinion, your thoughts, your intellectual input, your creativity? Did that happen to you, as a man especially? Then I want to hear it. And how did you feel? Did you care? I think a lot of guys will say, yeah, she thought of me as a toy. It was great, man. Yeah, that's a stupid guy. It is. That's the sitcom answer. I don't want sitcom answers. I want your thoughts. So that is it. That's my question. Objectification. I know it's heavy. It's a big question, I know. But the book is very light. The book is a Hollywood movie. It's a very light movie. So I'm trying to make it a little bit more challenging. Objectification. That's the subject for our next podcast, okay? Good luck, you guys. Enjoy the listening. Oh, by the way, what the heck is wrong with me? If you want to get this audiobook, if you do not have the audiobook yet, then please use me. Go to this website, www.audibletrial.com/LME. One more time, www.audibletrial, AUDIBLE, trial, TRIAL, audibletrial.com/LME. Let's Master English, LME. Now, in some countries, I know in Russia and Poland, you go here and you sign up for Amazon, you get this book for free. However, this book is not available. Oh no. Yeah, that's not cool. But one of our members, he's from Russia. So on the computer, he wasn't able to get this book with Audible because the country copyright. However, what he did was he used the app, the Amazon app or the Audible app on his iPad, and then he was able to get the book. Okay? So that might work. So if you can't, because of a copyright issue, if you cannot get the book in your country on your PC, then try it on your tablet or your smartphone, because this company will have an app that you can also install, and it might work. Okay? So if you get the membership and it doesn't work, well, don't worry. The next book you can sign up and get the next book for free. The next book is The Alchemist, and the book after that is Wonder. I've already decided. So if you want the books' names and if you want the authors, just send me an email and I'll make sure you get those. And then when you join Amazon, when you join this audibletrial.com/LME, you can get that book for free. Okay? And every month they'll charge you $14.95, and you can get another book. Even if the other book is $30, you can get it for just that membership cost. So this is a very good deal. I'm a member. I've been a member for a long time. I actually pay twice that amount because I get 2 books, but I like it. It's very good. So once again, if you join through my name, through LME, then I do get a small bit of money. They're a sponsor. Only one time, but it helps me pay my bills. So I appreciate that. Once again, www.audibletrial.com/LME. audibletrial.com/LME. Thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see you in a week. Bye-bye.